Welcome to the Retire with Peace podcast, the podcast where we help you create a fulfilling and stress-free retirement. Each week, we bring you expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you plan and live your best retirement life. Whether you're nearing retirement or already enjoying your golden years, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to retire with peace.
Welcome back to the Retire with Peace podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dave Zaegel, and this episode is sponsored by CWOs for Hire, which is the retirement planning firm that I co-own. And we are bringing on new clients this time of year. So if you have any questions or if you're looking for help, please feel free to reach out to us at cwosforhire.com. Today, let's talk about a subject near and dear to my heart, that is Roth IRA conversions and why in some cases we want to do conversions earlier in the year. Not very often, but it can happen. Most of the time, we are doing Roth IRA conversions towards the end of the year. And if you don't know what a Roth IRA conversion is, I'm not going to dive deeply into that in this video. We have lots of videos on Roth IRA conversions, but essentially you are taking money from a traditional IRA, moving it over to a Roth IRA, and paying the taxes in the year that you made the conversion over. Most of the time, we are waiting until later in the year to do this because we'll do a lot of tax planning around the time that we are doing tax returns for our clients. That way, we have a game plan for the rest of the year so we know if we want to do conversions at all. And if we do, what's that dollar amount going to be? What's our expectation? The reason we don't do it right away is we want to wait till later in the year because something might happen in between that changes that tax situation. And if we've done all the Roth conversion now and somebody needs money from a traditional IRA for whatever reason later in the year, maybe you're forced into early retirement, maybe an emergency happens, who knows? Those things don't happen too often, but just in case, we don't need to be in a rush to do a big Roth IRA now. We can plan for the whole year, understanding what that Roth IRA conversion is probably going to be, and do it sometime later in the fall, early in the winter, when we've had the whole year's results. We can confirm the tax projection for the year and then process that Roth IRA conversion to stay within certain tax brackets, certain IRMA brackets, all the things that we talked about many times on this podcast. Now, I mentioned that, well, first, before I dive into that, technical note, if you are taking RMDs from your traditional IRA, so if you're of the age where you have required distributions from your traditional IRA, you need to do that first before you do a Roth conversion. RMDs have to be done first. So we tend to do RMDs really early in the year in most cases, not 100%. But in most cases, we are doing RMDs early in the year, usually in February, March timeframe, maybe April. We're taking care of those, getting them out of the way. So then we can do whatever else we need to do for the year from that traditional IRA, whether it be conversions, charitable donations, all the above. Now, I'll pause on the charitable donations because that is meant to satisfy RMDs. So in some cases, we do those early in the year, some cases later in the year. Not going to dive into all the details on timing, but generally speaking, we do RMDs early in the year to get those taken care of. And generally, we wait till the end of the year to do Roth IRA conversions when we've seen the entire year's results. Now, all that being said, to circle back to say, why might we do Roth IRA conversions earlier in the year? The stock market was not overall too kind so far early in the year of 2025. So what we can do is, in some cases, we might want to do a partial Roth IRA conversion. For example, let's say we are planning on doing, I'm just going to pick numbers, but let's say we're planning on doing a $60,000 Roth IRA contribution for somebody this year. So we've got this planned. We did the tax return. We did a projection at this time. It's pretty well set that that's going to be what we convert this year. Stuff might come up, so we're going to wait to do that conversion till later this year. But the market takes a little bit of a downturn. And we're looking at the stock market thinking, we don't know exactly when the right time to buy is. Nobody does. But the market's giving us a little bit of a discount. What if we know we're going to do $60,000 this year? What if we just do 20,000 now and know that we've given ourselves a $40,000 cushion for the rest of the year? So if they wind up needing money from their IRA, they've got this $40,000 cushion before we run into problems doing a Roth IRA conversion. So we're planning on doing 60 for the year. What if we just do 20 now? Take the 20 from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA while the market is down, not trying to get perfect on the timing, but just understanding that the market's giving us a bit of a discount and we're using this Roth IRA for the long term. Why not get that money over to a Roth IRA now while the market's down a bit so that way it can grow from a lower amount? Those are the strategies that you can do inter-year as long as you do them safely. I wouldn't look at this client and say, hey, let's do all 60 now. We know that's what the conversion is going to be because something might happen later in the year. But we can say we are certain that we have room in our tax brackets for $60,000 of income. We're not going to do the full $60,000 conversion now, but we can very safely do 20. The numbers are all going to vary by individual situations. But for this very rough example, let's just do about a third of it now, get it over to a Roth IRA. That way, when the market does turn back, even if it takes a while, this is for the long term in a Roth IRA, we can have started that investment much lower in a Roth IRA that will be then tax-free. So that's the reason why you might want to consider doing a portion of your Roth IRA conversion earlier in the year, as long as you're doing a safe portion, a safe amount relative to what you're planning. It's not too bad to put it in now, give it a little bit more time to grow, as long as you do it with the understanding that we're not trying to get exactly timed in the market. If you put it in and it goes down another 5%, no crying about it aloud. You're still getting it at a discount. And in fact, if it really has a bad year and keeps going down, you could do another small chunk later on. So you can effectively dollar cost average. We're not going to go over that concept here, but you can dollar cost average as the market's going down. If you're looking at planning and you've mapped this out for the year and you know what you want the conversion to be, that's awesome. That's important for tax planning. That allows you to say, let's take a portion of it now in some cases and get it from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA while the market's down, and let that money then grow over the long term tax free.